Make it. Let's go right. Hello, welcome. If you're here, welcome to Rose Trone Astrology. We are going to talk about the astrology for the week ahead, and we will top it off with a little bit of a tarot card reading. So,
Yes.
if you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Welcome back. If you're new, please subscribe and like the channel and hit that notification bell. I'm just going to give a pause here. We usually wait to see how many people show up, but so I'm just going to ramble for a minute. We are the Roses. I'm Jennifer, and that's Mel up there, and we live in Kansas City, Missouri area, and we own a shop called Midwest Woo Books and More in Belton, Missouri. That is where we're peddling in person live tarot card readings.
Yes.
And then I will make sure that there's a link in the comments, but we also do readings, video readings for you. We can also do, readings via text. And I will put a link down so you can look at our schedule and see when we're doing that and come and get a reading from us. So anyway, welcome to Astro Insights Live. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday and every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Myself, my wife, astrologer Melrose up there. We come to you and we talk to you about the week ahead in astrology. And we also give you a free tarot card reading with the energies of this week or whatever Mel picks. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Mel so she can get started talking with you about the astrology for next week.
Okay, welcome everybody back to Astro Insights. It's Sunday morning and we're here to look at the astrology of the week ahead. How is it going for everybody out there? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below. We look to the sky and the way the planets move across the backdrop of the stars to give us some sort of hint or clue or inkling as to what kind of energies we might be dealing with down here on the ground. And I don't know about you, I'll take all the extra information I can get to help navigate me through this life because it is complex and challenging at times, friends. So let's talk about the astrology of this week, but let's start by talking about last week so that we can bring ourselves up to date. Last week, we started off with this beautiful Venus sextile to Mars. We had a lot of astrology last week. So if it felt like there was a lot to do, if it felt like a lot of things were changing, if it felt like it was hard to get a fix on what it was, like what the plan is going forward, you would not be alone. Okay. It was just a challenging week in terms of having a lot of significant astrology going on. But we did have that Venus sextile to Mars that started off the week. And that was a really good way to start because it speaks well to cooperating well in partnership with others. And then later on in the week, Mercury moved into Libra. So Mercury is now in Libra, focused on what's balanced, what's fair, focused on saying and doing what sort of brings justice to a situation and doing justice to, our thoughts, our plans, and our conversations. And then also this past week, Venus just moved into Virgo. And Venus in Virgo is very particular about what we receive, is where we all become a little more particular about what we receive. And I'm going to stop for a moment because Venus just went to Virgo and ask Jennifer to chime in because Jennifer has Venus in Virgo in her chart. It's one of her defining characteristics. So tell us what it's like for you to be a Venus in Virgo.
It has lit my inner Midwest dad like to the T. I give practical tarot advice. And with the opening of our new store, what was really wonderful is Venus went into Virgo on a day that I was in what I call inventory hell. Where I had to inventory everything in the store and input it in our POS system and everything. But my heart loved it. And, yesterday I was able to be in the shop by myself, and I just went and moved every single thing around the way that I liked it, and in a particular way. So my Venus in Virgo is about rational and practical caretaking of myself and everyone around me, because I share
Mhm.
all of that information with people. I have a lot of people who will tell me like they didn't ask for my advice, but they get it anyway because it's worthy to listen to. Like a lot of times I'm right, and it's just good advice. And then, I don't know. It's just like a little OCD. I have a hard time sleeping sometimes because I'm going through all sorts of things in my mind, and I want things in just the right
Mhm.
place, and I want just the right things in the right place. And
Mhm.
so I think that I've been okay attitude wise so far, but I get real picky, and people around me don't necessarily care for it. But I want what I want, and then I just do what I want.
Well, and Virgo is it's mutable Earth, so it is about particulate. It's about breaking things down to the smallest piece that you can, and then putting them in order. But it's not really in the interest of being picky or nitpicky, which people accuse Virgo and people of being picky or nitpicky. And it's not in the interest of tearing things apart necessarily. It's just that Virgo realizes sometimes things have to be broken down in order to be brought back together into wholeness. And the interest of Virgo is wholeness. So it seems as though Virgo tears things apart or breaks things down into their smaller bits. But again, the idea is to bring them back together into one cohesive piece. Excuse me. And then you said another thing there that resonated, and that was about how. Oh, no, I think I lost it. Okay, what you said there was about how Virgo, hmm, I'm sorry, I've drawn a blank, so we'll come back to it.
Practical advice giving is what I
Yeah,
do.
oh, you
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 know,
were
the
you were
Midwest
talking
way.
about how we've talked about this before, how Virgo is the sign of OCD. Or we talk about it as being the sign of OCD. Not that I can um, diagnose anybody. I'm not qualified to do that, but it is the sign that sort of gives us the most sort of features of OCD just as it naturally comes. And uh, there's some anxiety involved in that, and there's some repetition involved in that, and there's a lot of just really making sure that all the pieces are good before you try to wrap it up into something complete, before you try to say it's complete. It has to be
Mhm,
done a specific way, right?
mhm.
And OCD, wait, man, I'm having a little
Okay.
brain problem this morning.
Well, let's just go forward then. We've
Okay.
already talked about this for a little longer than I thought we might.
Okay. So the reason though I'm talking so much about Virgo is, Venus just moved into Virgo, and then today we have the new moon in Virgo. It's the second new moon in Virgo of this month and this year. It's a relative rarity to get two new moons in a row in the same sign. It means that we had one right at the beginning of in the same month in the same sign. It means that we had one right at the beginning of that sign, and now we're having one at the end of the sign. And the new moon is a sun and moon conjunction in the sky, so it's when we can't really see the moon. Except for this new moon, we are also finishing our second eclipse season of the year. There is a solar eclipse that comes with this new moon that happens today. The solar eclipse will not be visible here in North America. It will be visible in other parts of the world, but what we need to know is that this sort of exciting electric flip-floppy change magnetism, um, um, information jumble that we have been experiencing the last few weeks is going to begin again to settle down. Between eclipses, it's sort of like everything is up in the air, everything is up for grab, things are very likely to change. Stuff is exiting, stuff is coming in. It can all happen very quickly. I know it happened very quickly for us with just starting this new business. And it all happened kind of within the confines of that eclipse season. So I'm excited for the changes that we've been through. I'm interested to know about the changes that you all have been through recently, especially the surprises that you've encountered. And notice what it is with this new moon, what it is that you've been letting go of. especially when it comes to particulate matter. And especially when it comes to, I want to say, like, habits that are not good for our bodies, our physical and mental well-being. Okay. Because Virgo is definitely about the body, the health, the wholeness, the healing. And so, we can get down to the nitty gritty and notice, like, maybe I'm eating too many cookies in a day. That's all. I know, terrible of me to mention the cookies, but so Virgo is a big theme right now. However, tomorrow, Virgo and the eclipse is a very big theme right now and today. And then tomorrow, we have the autumnal equinox. Tomorrow is the fall equinox. Tomorrow is the day the sun moves on into Libra. Mercury just moved into Libra. Now the sun is moving into Libra. So we're also getting very fair-minded. We're getting very balanced about the way we want to think about things and about the way we want to act on things, especially in our work, social, and civic lives. Okay. At the same time, not the same time, but basically at the same time, Mars is moving forward into Scorpio tomorrow. So, Mars has been in Libra trying to make fair, balanced assessments, trying to make plans that are going to work for everybody. And now Mars is ready to move into action because Mars is at home in Scorpio. Mars is in charge in Scorpio. And Mars in Scorpio is strategic. And you might not always see Mars coming in Scorpio, but that doesn't mean the plans are not being enacted. One of the big themes of this week is enacting strategic plans. And that's because Mars is moving on into Scorpio while we've got Mercury and the sun moving into Libra. Beautiful, I think, powerful shifts happening to make us feel as though we're more powerful to negotiate our lives and take action on the things that are really important to us.
Yeah, I like, of course, I like this time of year. I'm a Libra sun, so welcome my season.
Mm-hmm.
And I know personally around this time, I usually get in trouble for running my mouth. And it's not necessarily that I'm being mean or nasty or bullying. It's that I'm right. It's that I'm just to the point and it's factual and people just don't know how to deal with that. So I usually get kicked off, kicked out, wherever it is, hurt somebody's feelings or something just for being direct. But this Libra season is also bringing a whole lot of new music from Libras even. So I'm here for that as well.
Yes. Lots of new music from Libras right now.
Yes.
I'm loving that. So that's today and tomorrow. We've got the eclipse, we've got the new moon, and then we've got the sun going on into Libra. Happy birthday to all the Libras out there. We've got fall equinox, the new season is beginning. That means Libra is a cardinal sign. It is cardinal air. That means we're having a lot of great original ideas at this time. And I love that. And that we're coming at it from a sense of wanting justice for ourselves and for the people around us. The people we're in relationship to as well is very inspiring to me. And then on Tuesday, man, if y'all haven't looked at the chart of the moment lately, and I know we don't all look at charts and read charts that pay attention to astrology, but if you haven't just gone and look at the chart of the moment lately, you might be surprised at what you see when you go and look at the chart of the moment, because there is so much symmetry right now. There is so much symmetry on that chart. There's a big grand trine, there's a kite, there are all of these oppositions. There's so much going on the chart of the moment that is, Nadia Shah has been calling it a near Star of David, and there is like a 5-pointed star that you can see in there. There's a diamond shape that you can see in there. There's sort of like a cradle shape, and there's just all sorts of influential astrology vibrations going on in the chart right now. What's going on in the sky right now? There's all this beautiful symmetry that's sort of hanging out over our heads, and that tells me that this is consequential, that we need to pay attention to what is happening, not just to ourselves but to the people around us and out in the world, because it feels like momentous things are happening. And coming up on Tuesday, part of that big symmetry is that the sun is going to perfect a trine with Pluto and Uranus. Okay, Pluto and Uranus have been trying together for a while, so this is quick change working together with slow progressive change, like all happening together very easily. And now the sun is coming into a trine position with the two of them, so it's making a grand trine, a great big triangle across the middle of the chart, and that predicts ease. It predicts things happening very easily and quickly, and they are in air signs. So that has to do with our thoughts, our plans, our communications, our collaborations. Those things are meant to be going forward very easily. We are going through changes in those things, in our plans, changes in the way we converse, changes in the people we're collaborating with very quickly and easily right now. Okay. And so, my guidance for that is go with the upgrades. All right. When you see something that gives you that light in your heart, that turns you on a little bit, that gives you that little bit of like, heck yes, that's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking for. You got to go for it. Okay. You got to join in on that plan. You got to collaborate with those people. Because also on Tuesday and Wednesday, we have a little bit of difficult energy. Okay. So we have that really positive, very easy to plan, converse, communicate, collaborate vibration going on, especially through changes. But then, you've got Mars having to adjust to Neptune on Tuesday and then to Uranus on Wednesday. And you have the sun opposing Neptune and Saturn at this time. So these are active, fiery planets that are having to make adjustments, that are having to deal with conflict or the potential for conflict. And I see us having to make moves, especially in our work, social, and civic lives, make adjustments, make moves, sort of moving our defenses into place or moving our armies into place or getting ourselves, again, Mars and Scorpio, strategically set up to be ready for whatever might be coming next. Okay. So, have a little foresight. It's there in the chart. We are able to have foresight right now. We are able to see what's coming down the plank. There's a little bit of haziness about it naturally because Neptune is involved here. But, trust your instincts right now. Trust what is coming your way, and seek to be ready, strategically ready to handle what you see coming down. And that is most of the astrology for this week. Thank goodness. It's today through Wednesday that it is really very active astrology-wise, and so I expect those days to be really active for us in terms of the conversations we're having, the collaborations we're in, the plans that we're making, especially the strategies that we're trying to enact, because this is about enacting strategies. It's also about seeking balance through our plans and our actions, okay? And with that grand trine in air, our collaborations and our plans have extra potential right now. They have extra power. So, again, plan in a really positive direction. Plan in the direction that makes you feel as though, like your dreams might come true. Lean into the changes you want to see this week. Coming up on Friday, the moon will move on into Sagittarius, and it will be in Sagittarius through the whole weekend. And that's good. Moon in Sagittarius, it's good fortune. It's a good time to, again, take action in the direction of where you want to have good fortune, show up in places where you want to get lucky, where you want to have good fortune for the rest of this week. And then I just want to say quickly that next week we have a lot of astrology that involves Mercury. So it's again going to be another week about planning and collaboration, and because Mars is still in Scorpio, about enacting our strategies. And then the next full moon comes up yet another week later on Monday, October 6th. That'll be the full moon in Aries, which will be a new beginning, and we'll talk about that another time. But for this week, enacting strategies, seeking balance through our actions and our plans and collaborations, which have more power right now. So, plan in the direction that you hope, and lean into the changes that you want to see. Part of what we're doing with the store that we have just opened is trying to be the change that we want to see. We've come back to our hometown where we grew up, and we had our struggles. Everybody has their struggles in childhood. We also realized that it was a relatively safe place for us to grow up, and yet we did not see the representation that we needed to see for ourselves, as queer people, as astrologers and tarot card reading types. We didn't see the representation. We didn't see the community that we needed to see growing up there. So that's what we're trying to do. And so it's that Virgo desire to like do something particulate, like sell things, to create community, to bring more wholeness about. That's what the whole Virgo vibe is for this week.
So I guess we're just right in line.
We are. We've been following the astrology pretty closely for about 5 years, and it's just now starting to seem like, oh yeah, I get it. Like, okay, now we're gonna ride this wave to the crest, and when it starts to trough again, we're gonna back off, and then we're gonna ride this wave to the crest again. We make hay while the sun shines astrologically, and I think that it has been working for us.
Yes, and somehow, some way, good opportunities, good partnerships, and opportunities come to us during a Mercury retrograde.
Yes.
It has been, I think, nearly every year for the last 5 years since we've been practicing. And it was finally this year that we were able to kind of, bridle that enthusiasm, just kind of take it back a little bit and to hang back. And we really, it was difficult because it felt like it felt like you were just leading someone on. We're talking about renting a space. We're talking about, doing all these things. And then we're like, we can't do anything past August 11th. We can't do anything or sign anything until August 11th or 12th,
Like,
and then.
I want to make this agreement with you, but I'm not doing it until
Right.
after this is over. Yeah.
Right. And that was just from previous experience watching the things that had happened to us, watching the astrology versus what was happening to us in real life. And we figured out that it was that Mercury in retrograde and it also seems like we're also in a weirdly vulnerable place. And I don't mean that like we're down and out or depressed or anything like that. It's just that we have had an idea for a business for a very long time like this. And we've been looking for this space at least for the last year since we've moved back. And then it just showed up, of course, during Mercury retrograde. So
a Gemini brought it to us during Mercury retrograde.
Absolutely. And I'm really grateful for that. But there was a little bit of like, I found myself having weird communication issues. I was, like saying something and not doing it, or, so we were having some communication issues, but it all really got wrapped up. And it seems like everything's just going forward in a really wonderful motion, and all the energy is just flowing front to back in the building. And we just love it that way. But astrology has really helped gain perspective on how to move through these energies. And that's why we do this show in Astrology Insights. So next week, so you can plan, so you can think about, even if this doesn't affect you personally, it affects everyone, all of us. So if someone's acting this particular way, or if your boss is getting very particular in the details, there's a reason for it. Okay. And even somewhere down the line, it might be that there's a reason for it because they foresee something, because this is also a very intuitive time as we come closer and closer to Halloween in that area, so we do have spirits rising again. We have all of those things coming into play. So, give everybody some leeway, give yourself some leeway, and just know, you'll get through this week like you've gotten through all the rest of the weeks. And astrology really does help you figure out how to move through it.
Yeah, I want to say one of the things that was coming up for me earlier was that, when we have these strong Virgo vibrations that we have right now, there is a little bit of a compulsion toward trying to make things perfect and getting discouraged because you can never quite get it granular enough to get it completely perfect. And, the answer to that anxious, desire for perfection and not being able to achieve it is to have a little bit of faith in something. Okay, whether it is a growth process, or whether it is a changing process, or it is having faith in yourself because you're doing the best that you can. just put a little faith in the fact that even if you didn't make it as perfect as you would like to, you did the best you could, and you're giving the best as a result of that. Faith is the answer to that anxiety that comes with that Virgoing compulsion for perfection. Okay, find something to put your faith in, and to me, it's always put your faith in yourself. I mean, the one thing I can rely on in the world the most is like myself. So definitely, I want to have some faith in myself that I can manage the things that come my way in life, and also that the things that I create, the things that I provide, the things that I give, may not be entirely up to my standards every time. But as long as I'm doing my best, I know I can have faith in myself to be doing that much.
I think I learned a lot about that this time, and that things don't have to be perfect. So
yeah,
it's a process.
It's a process.
All right. So are we switching gears and getting on to this tarot card reading?
We are switching
Tarot
gears.
cards.
Man, there's so much going on about strategy here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much going on about collaboration. And like when you're collaborating to do a strategy, it's a little bit different when you're doing a strategy on your own, right? There has to be more communication. There has to be like a checklist. Everybody has to be on the same clock, right?
Right.
Think of it like a heist. So everybody has to be on the same clock, and everybody has to be in position and ready to do their thing at the right time. So I just want to say, I'm going to ask, what are two things that we can do to be better collaborators at this time? Does that sound right? Does that sound like a good?
Sure.
Why not? What are two things we can do to be better collaborators at this time?
What is that card? That's really close to the. I can't see that at all. So can you tell us what it is?
Oh, it's the Four of Coins.
Oh, okay. What deck is that? There's just something in my way when I'm watching the video. So.
Oh, this is a Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, so it's a little bit shiny, but I'm trying to hold it so you can see the picture pretty well.
So the Four of Coins is answering the question, what can we do to be better collaborators?
Yes, so that's resourceful and being a little bit conservative with our resources. Especially shared resources, friends. When we're collaborating, we want to be careful with the shared resources. If you have a pot of money, but of $300 between three people, and it's supposed to go to specific, supplies and services, then you can't go spend that money on lunch. Okay, be a good collaborator. Be conservative with your shared resources.
Right. I kind of see that as come at it from I know what you want out of the situation before, like really, really and honestly know what you want and know where you're willing to, move a little on that gauge, know where you're willing to lessen up. And if you don't know right away, then you'll figure it out. But you really want to sit and think about this before, you agree to, have these meetings in your place, or you really want to think about all of the details concerning this and ask all the questions.
There's a little bit of guard your valuables there, and that includes time. Okay. Yeah. Don't let people waste your time. And don't let you waste your time either.
And you don't waste other people's time. If you don't know what you want out of something, if you don't know what you can give to a collaboration, then don't waste anybody else's time by just sitting there going, well, I don't know, but I just want to be involved.
I like that. Knowing what you have to share is a really big part of that as well.
Yes. And how much of it that you can, Yeah.
Okay, so that's one tip for being a better collaborator is
one tip.
Being conservative with your resources and not wasting your time or anybody else's.
Yep.
And then a second tip for being a better collaborator. Oh, rest when you're tired, friends. Don't try to do it all. Don't try to be the one that did everything. Okay, we all had those experiences with class projects where we had to work with 3 or 4 different people to give like a report or something, and then some of us had that experience where we wound up taking on the entire project for ourselves because the other kids weren't really interested in doing the work. And that's where how you get to where this fellow is, the 9 of Wands. So, when you have worked hard, when you are feeling tired, when you're feeling overworked, it's time to lay it down and let somebody else pick it up.
Yes. Yeah. Monitor your responsibilities and know what it is that you're responsible for,
Yes.
and definitely,
Take care
you
of
know,
your tasks, not everybody's tasks.
exactly. Like if that's what's on your plate right now, then do you really have the time to collaborate? Do you really have the time, space, energy to collaborate? Because even though this thing is something that you like, love, or you just want to be a part of for whatever reason, something else is probably going to have to fall off in order for you to be there and present. Because if you're just there
Right.
halfway, that's no good.
You can't be this and this at the same time, okay? You've got to be, if you're being conservative with your resources and your time and other people's resources and time, then you can't just be going full throttle on your own steam. That's not the same thing as conserving your energy, conserving your time or your resources.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's some very good guidance going into the week.
Yeah. So we all have to work with other people. Jennifer and I have been getting signs that collaborators are coming in for a long time, and we've had we've had a lot of collaborations over the years. Some worked out better than others. Sometimes some people are there for a moment and some people are there for much longer. But it is incumbent on all of us to work together with other people. And two of the ways that we can be better at working together with other people is, minding our time and our resources and other people's time and resources, and also not trying to do everything. You might be one of those people who thinks that people expect you to take on everything, and so you just do it. Don't. You'll see who else is willing to step up. There's always somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's no hierarchy to that,
Right.
believe it or not.
It's power with, not power over, friends.
Excuse me, yes. Well, awesome. This seems like a really good time to wrap everything up for Astro Insights Live today. Thank you so much for tuning in with us as we talk about the astrology and give a quick tarot card reading. Again, we have a retail shop where we do also perform tarot card readings and talk astrology. And we are at 319 Main Street in Belton, Missouri. If you're near driving through, come and say hi. And we are on all socials as Rose Turon Astrology and Midwest Woo Books and More. And happy Libra season. Happy autumn. Everyone out there, take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, eating all the right foods, having fun, and getting rest. And by and don't I don't know. I wanted to say something about, don't let the bastards grind you down. You know, like just don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't let it grind you down. Don't let it get the best of you. Don't let it make you act outside of yourself this Libra season,
Yeah.
because this is about justice and Libras are about justice. And
Mhm.
we're all pretty mad probably right now.
Yeah.
And so we're going to
We're
seek
all
to
pretty
find the
pumped up.
balance in that anger with something a little bit more practical, but it's very difficult to see. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're consuming only the things that bring you joy in as much as you can, and just know that we are all going to get through this together.
100%.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
friends. Much, much love. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll catch you